Robert Mondavi Winery is one of the most famous wineries in the world, known for its premium wines and world-class grape processing. The journey of making wine here begins far away from the factory floor, inside huge vineyards filled with perfectly grown grape vines. These grapes are carefully monitored throughout the year, from the early days of budding to the final stage of ripening. The workers and experts observe the weather, soil conditions, and the grape's natural sugar level to decide the best time for harvesting. Harvest season is one of the busiest times because thousands of tons of grapes must be collected quickly while they are fresh, juicy, and full of flavor. The grapes are picked either by hand or with special harvesting machines, depending on the vineyard section and grape type. After harvesting, the grapes are immediately loaded into large containers and transported to the winery. Because timing is extremely important, fresh grapes make the best quality wine. When the grapes arrive at the Robert Mondavi Winery, the factory process becomes even more intense and organized. The grapes are unloaded and sent to sorting areas where workers and advanced machines remove leaves, stems, and any damaged grapes. This sorting step is important because only the best grapes are used to create high-quality wine. After sorting, the grapes move into crushing and destemming machines. Crushing breaks the grape skins to release the juice, while destemming removes the stems that can add bitterness. For red wines, the grape skins are kept together with the juice because the color and tannins come from the skins. For white wines, the skins are separated quickly so the juice stays light and clean. This is where the winery's production feels like a giant factory system. Everything is flowing in an organized line, with large stainless steel equipment handling massive amounts of grapes every hour. After crushing, the grape juice is transferred into fermentation tanks, which are some of the most important parts of the entire winery. Fermentation is the magical process where yeast turns grape sugar into alcohol. Robert Mondavi Winery uses modern temperature-controlled tanks, which help maintain perfect conditions so the flavor stays balanced and smooth. During fermentation, workers constantly test the juice for temperature, sugar levels, and acidity. Red wine fermentation often involves mixing the grape skins with the juice regularly to extract deeper color and stronger flavors. This stage can take several days to weeks, depending on the wine style. The smell inside the winery becomes powerful and sweet, and the tanks bubble and release heat, showing that the yeast is actively working. It is a highly scientific process, but it also requires experience and skill, because even a small change in temperature or timing can affect the final taste. Once fermentation is complete, the wine enters the aging stage, where it develops its true character and depth. Some wines are aged in huge stainless steel tanks to keep them fresh and fruity, while others are aged in oak barrels to add rich flavors like vanilla, spice, and smoky notes. Robert Mondavi Winery is famous for using high-quality oak barrels, sometimes imported, which makes the wine even more premium. Aging can last from a few months to several years depending on the type of wine being produced. During this time, the wine slowly changes as it absorbs aromas from the barrel and becomes smoother. The winemakers regularly taste the wine, checking how it is evolving, and they decide when it is ready for the next step. This stage is slow but extremely important because it transforms a simple fermented drink into a luxurious, complex wine. After aging, the wine goes through filtering and blending processes before it is finally bottled. Filtering removes any remaining particles to make the wine clear and clean. Blending is another powerful step because winemakers may mix wines from different grape varieties or vineyard sections to create a perfect final flavor. This is where Robert Mondavi's signature style is created: balanced taste, strong aroma, and smooth finishing. Once the wine is ready, it moves to the bottling line, where advanced machines fill thousands of bottles every hour. The bottles are sealed with corks or caps, labeled with the winery branding, and packed into boxes for shipping. This stage looks like a high-speed factory production system, where every bottle must be perfectly filled and sealed to maintain quality. Finally, the finished wine is stored and prepared for distribution to markets, restaurants, and wine lovers all over the world. In the end, the Robert Mondavi Winery process is a combination of nature, science, tradition, and modern industrial power. From the vineyards to the massive fermentation tanks, and from the oak barrel aging rooms to the fast bottling lines, Everything is designed to create top-quality wine at a large scale. Even though millions of grapes are processed, the winery still focuses on careful selection and premium craftsmanship. That is why Robert Mondavi wines are known worldwide. They represent not only a drink, but a complete journey of dedication, precision, and passion. As the winery continues its massive production cycle, one of the most impressive areas is the quality control and laboratory section, where every batch of wine is tested like a scientific experiment. Inside this lab, specialists measure acidity, sugar levels, alcohol percentage, and even microscopic elements that can affect taste and stability. The winery does not depend only on tradition. It uses advanced technology to make sure each bottle meets international standards. Samples are taken from fermentation tanks and barrels daily, and the winemakers study them carefully before making decisions. If a tank is fermenting too fast, temperature is adjusted. If the flavor profile feels too sharp or too weak, the process is modified. This is how a giant winery can handle huge amounts of grapes while still producing wines that feel refined and premium. The combination of expert tasting and modern lab testing creates a balance between art and science. And that is where the true power of a world-famous winery can be seen. After quality checks, the wine moves deeper into the winery, where storage and barrel rooms look like endless underground tunnels of wooden oak barrels. These rooms are quiet, cool, and filled with a rich aroma that feels like a mixture of fruit, wood, and time itself. Each barrel holds wine that is slowly aging, becoming smoother and more complex day by day. Workers move carefully between the rows, checking barrel conditions and making sure there are no leaks or temperature changes. In some cases, wine is transferred from one barrel to another to improve oxygen exposure and flavor development. This process is done with great precision because too much oxygen can ruin the wine, but the right amount can make it taste luxurious. Some barrels are marked for special reserve wines, meaning they will age longer and become more valuable. Watching this stage feels like witnessing patience turning into perfection, because the winery is not just producing wine, it is shaping it with time. Once the aging is complete, the next major step is the blending room, where winemakers create the final masterpiece. Here, different batches of wine are combined to achieve a signature taste that matches the Robert Mondavi style. Blending is not random. It is carefully planned and tested through repeated tasting sessions. A small change in blending can transform the entire personality of the wine. One batch may add fruitiness, another may add structure, and another may add a deep aroma that stays on the tongue. Winemakers treat this process like building a powerful formula, where every part must be balanced. Some wines are kept as single vineyard wines, meaning they are bottled without blending to preserve the natural identity of the grapes. But for many premium wines, blending is the secret weapon that creates smoothness, richness, and a professional finish. After blending, the wine goes through stabilization and filtration systems that make it clean, clear, and ready for bottling. Stabilization ensures the wine will remain fresh and stable even after months or years of storage. Filtration removes any remaining particles that could affect appearance or texture. This is where the winery's factory-like system becomes extremely intense, because everything must move quickly and perfectly. The wine travels through stainless steel pipes, pumps, and filtration machines in a smooth flow. Every movement is monitored to avoid contamination, and the entire bottling environment is kept highly clean and controlled. Even the air quality in some bottling areas is managed, because wineries take cleanliness very seriously. The goal is simple: protect the wine's purity and make sure every bottle tastes the same as intended. Finally comes the bottling line, one of the most fascinating and high-speed parts of the entire process. Bottles move on conveyor belts in long straight lines, like a never-ending river of glass. Machines wash and sterilize the bottles, then fill them with precise amounts of wine at high speed. Immediately after filling, corking machines seal the bottles tightly, ensuring no air enters and ruins the wine. Some wines are sealed with traditional corks, while others may use modern caps depending on the type and destination market. Next, labeling machines place perfect labels on each bottle, including branding, wine type, vintage year, and quality details. After labeling, bottles are packed into boxes, stacked onto pallets, and prepared for shipping. This entire bottling system works like a powerful factory engine, producing thousands of bottles in a single day, yet still maintaining premium standards.